Yes, people, it's DR Sports, it's AGT with almost my namesake sister.
Almost.
Alexis Nunes, how are you? Great to see you.
I'm great. Honestly, I mean, we're at the World Cup in Doha. It's hard to get better than this. My first World Cup. It's your first World Cup. Yeah, it's my first World Cup. So I'm happy that ESPN brought us out. We're here for the whole month, so living it up.
I have to say, having followed you on Instagram, your villa looks very good compared to, I mean, ours is nice, don't get me wrong. Got a swimming pool, you can cook stuff. We don't even know how to turn our oven on.
I mean, it took some time, but like literally, as I said, ESPN's been working on this for a hot minute. That building, when I came for the draw back in April, it wasn't even constructed yet.
Wow.
And now it's fully constructed. So it was constructed quickly. And it's great, you know, because obviously living in London, you'll do anything for just this much more space, but you probably have to pay like £1 billion more. And now we have all this space in Doha. It's like,
don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I buy more clothes.
Listen, we just did a really good chat for ESPN in Spanish as well, by the way. So make sure you go and watch that if you can. We were talking about the World Cup, what it's like to be here. How have you found it so far? I know you've been here for almost a week now. So what's your general thoughts so far?
Honestly, so far, like I said, it is my first World Cup, so I'm absolutely just living for the moment. I mean, I've been to 2 matches. I've been to the England match, of course, the opener against Iran, and that was something special. You can't really complain when you're getting that many goals, I suppose, unless you love defending. Then look away.
Well, you're a United fan. You should love that.
Yeah, someone still has to be a United fan, right? Someone still has to be a United fan. And then I got to go to Mexico's match, and let's be honest, wow. I think anybody in the world knows that there are few parties in this world in football like a Mexican party. The fans always come with 150%. And I feel like that for me, and being in the crowd yesterday, where it was basically like the Azteca, you know, it was about 90% Mexico, and there was a small pocket of Polish fans. I finally felt, I'm not just saying that because I come from the CONCACAF side of things, but I finally felt like I was actually at a World Cup, you know. It finally felt, once Mexico has arrived, once the likes of Argentina as well as Brazil have arrived, you know, it finally felt like a World Cup. Yeah,
those Mexico fans, we touched on it in our chat for ESPN, but I don't think I've ever seen that many national team fans in one place at one time. Sombreros, all the stuff that you would suspect, but the noise, and it's beautiful to see a country so patriotic as well. I mean, I would say so far from what I've seen, the Mexico fans for me have been the best, and I cannot wait for Mexico-Argentina, by the way, because Argentina need to win that game.
That's a cup final. That's going to be a cup final. That might as well be the final. Basically. I mean, yeah, literally, because if you think of it, if Mexico do win, and I know they still are viewed as underdogs going into this one, but if Mexico do win, Argentina are out. Yes. In the group stages. That's crazy to believe. What they were definitely among the Brazils and the Frances as pretty much favorites to win this entire thing. But Mexico, I mean, it's been unfortunate. They've carried the flag for CONCACAF for so long. And now we've seen the emergence, obviously, of the US. We've seen the emergence of Canada as well. But Mexico this year have struggled. They, you know, don't have as much star power, I think, as the fans would like, especially people being, you know, 100%. You have people like Jimenez coming off of the bench because he's not yet 100%. But they fought. They fought in that match against Poland, and they had the right attitude. So you hope that they will have enough to properly take it to Argentina, you know. Even though I predicted a Brazil-Argentina semi-final, I mean, if Mexico gets something from it, how can you not love happy Mexicans? Honestly, you know, how can you not love happy Mexicans?
They've got the food, they've got the
mariachi, they've got the vibes, they've got the costumes. Honestly, you gotta love Mexican fans.
Just before we touch on club football, because I know there's been a lot of stuff going on and you say, oh dear, but just give me a quick winner of the whole thing. I mean, it's still early, of course, but has your opinion changed maybe after Argentina?
Absolutely not. I predicted Brazil to win. I fell in love with football. I do football. I have this career in football because of watching Brazil. My dad used to sit me down in Jamaica and be like, watch this team. And it was a team, you know, basically with Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, like that kind of the iconic Brazilian team. And I think the world fell in love with that Joga Bonito, you know, and few people in this world breathe football like Brazil. You know how they say the English gave football to us, but the Brazilians perfected it? I'm a firm believer of that. Don't kill me, England. But yeah, I would love to see. I think they're due. I think they've gone through some serious heartbreak in the last couple of years. Obviously, they were able to you know, win the likes of the Olympics, if you want to call it that, but that was, I think, huge for the likes of Neymar to finally captain, you know, a side to it. And now, I mean, they're absolutely stacked. Look at I mean, they left your boy Firmino home. They left your boy Firmino at home.
I'm fuming at
that. Yeah, exactly.
They took Richarlison over Firmino. What is going on?
Steady.
Listen, we can do that on this channel.
I know, we can do that. I mean, yeah, they left someone who I really rate because I watch him a lot at Atletico de Madrid, and that's Mateus Cunha at home.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you have people like literally Vinny Jr., who is so good. You've got Neymar as well, who is so good. You got Gabriel Jesus, who's just having an absolute ball right now. Martinelli, you have Richarlison. I know people want to talk about their defense, probably if that's the only weakness, but it's a weakness in an almost perfect team, I think. And if that's the only weakness then they have, I don't think it's enough of a weakness to dump them out early. Again, we probably would have said this about Argentina before Saudi decided to come and say, hold that thought. Yeah. But I'm still going with Brazil. I'm going with Brazil, and I actually have a final of Brazil-España. You know, I work in La Liga for ESPN, so I have to be nice to Spain. But I would originally, everyone is going Brazil-France, and I get it, and I won't be surprised if that's the final. Our Pablo Zavaleta predicted Argentina-Portugal. I think Portugal, with a Cristiano Ronaldo that literally does carry this team on. Say what you want about him, That man, when he puts on that Portugal shirt, is another thing too. But I'm going to go with Brazil-Spain for the final.
You know what? No final for Brazil since 2000. No World Cup since 2002. Final trophy anyway. And Spain, such an amazing era between 2008 to 12. But again, we were speaking about earlier, a little bit underachievers since then. But that's interesting that you've gone for Spain, Brazil. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Let's touch on Manchester United. Our man Flex was going mad last night in terms of all the news breaking and everything. What did you make of, first of all, the separate incidents with Ronaldo and the Glazers, but the fact that they both happened on the same day is like London buses.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, you go through, and in the middle of a World Cup too, like, you know, when you're trying to finally just take a break from club football and just fully immerse yourself, you know, in this. But then, of course, the Ronaldo thing, I'm not surprised. It had to be done. I suppose, you know, the club had to make that. There's no way I could have seen him going back to United after all of that. It's not necessarily what he said, but I think it's just how he went about doing it, you know. For me, I think I don't really hide it, but that's my goat. That's my boy, you know. And it really breaks my heart that this is how it's ended. You know, I know it's not the first time that someone highly rated as a club has left this club that they love under bitter circumstances, but this one really broke my heart. Like, I mean, I'd rather have my ex dump me through email again? Than have to, I'd rather go through that again than I would have to deal with this Ronaldo saga. Because for me, it was a match made in heaven with Ronaldo, you know, and I know how much he does love the club. I know everyone's going to say, like, well, if he really did, he wouldn't do this. Messi loves Barcelona, 100%. But he still spoke out about them because I think Ronaldo was he's a perfectionist. He's so used to a standard at United under Sir Alex, where that club was run immaculately. And now it's no surprise that there's things that aren't adding up, things are not going well. It's a rebuild, but you need a rebuild not just on the pitch, but behind the scenes as well. And I think he's come into that and he's wondering, what is this? Is this a Man United that I know and love? And he knows that United are better than this. He knows that fair play, he is better than this. He's Cristiano Ronaldo. And he spoke out about it. I guess, I say I don't like how he went about speaking out about it. But again, I think it's you know, hurting people hurt people. Hurting people lash out. And that's what Cristiano did, you know. And I think the fact that it's come to this kind of an end, I mean, it breaks my heart. I think it's just overall a sad situation for the club, for the fans, and even for Cristiano himself, whether he feels this or not. Now, I think one day he's definitely going to sit back and look back at it and be like, wow, is this how it really ended?
Yeah, it's sad. Listen, wherever you're looking at it. I'll tell you who the real winner is here, though. Piers Morgan.
Oh, my days. I mean, must be nice to have friends in high places. Must be nice, man.
And the Glazers as well. I mean, Flex and I, again, touched on it in Good Morning Qatar this morning. I mean, obviously, as a Liverpool fan, this really doesn't make a difference to me. But if I was a United fan, I would be absolutely they are a disgrace, are they not? Because they bought the club, or they've invested some money. After 2 years, they're in £600 million of debt. They haven't put any money into the training ground. This is what Ronaldo was speaking about. time to move on now, and maybe a chance to put those green and gold scarves away if the Glazers do leave.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's not often that people celebrate your club going up for sale. Usually there's question marks. You're wondering, why is this the right thing? But I think I heard all of the celebratory screams all the way from Manchester all the way here in Doha, because you feel like now you're coming to the end of what has been a very turbulent era, an era where I think at the very least there was just a complete disconnect and maybe a bit of a disregard for the fans, for the supporters. And I know people just say that supporters are at the bottom of the pecking order. I think we're at the top, let's be honest. What is a club without their fans? What is a club without their fans? Absolutely nothing. And there was just a complete disconnect, disregard. I mean, you look at, we cover Bundesliga as well for ESPN, and you see how they involve the fans, almost making them shareholders as well of clubs. And we dream of having that, I think, in the UK, just to give the fan, you know, that ability to voice their opinions and know it means something, know it carries weight. And I think that's for the longest time now, that's what United fans have been screaming, like, give us back our club. These are people who save up. I mean, I remember saving up and starving for like a week at lunch to buy my first United jersey back home when I was living in Jamaica in high school, and waiting 6 weeks for it to be shipped from the UK to Jamaica and paying import tax, paying it to be cleared in customs.
Going to the Glazers.
Exactly. And you forget that people do this, you know, and I think that the people at the highest, it's not their problem. You know, it's not their problem. They never have to do that. I do believe, yes, clubs these days are run as businesses, they are businesses, but at the end of the day, you should never forget really who keeps those wheels turning, and it is the fan. And I think that is where there was a complete kind of disregard, and just not enough engagement with them. So I think now it feels like a victory for the fans.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we're here at Adidas right now, incredible views. I mean, this place is quite something. The torch behind us, we're watching Germany take on Japan, and we're also going to watch Costa Rica, Spain. So if you don't mind, we're heading off. See you soon. Take care. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Massive shout out to Alexis. Muchísimas gracias. Hasta luego.